Hi, welcome back to Cats in Camo. I'm Dan, my co-host Allie is hiding. Actually, she's not hiding, but we're starting the second half of our review of the Beretta PX4 Storm. I have 10 rounds loaded into this, and we're going to shoot steel. I have a torso to the left, we're going to double tap that, and then if all goes according to plan, those 5 green zombie heads, I'm going to knock down each one with one shot each, and then double tap the torso on the right, and that should be 9 for 9. If the gun works and I work, that'll leave me 1 round. And there is a 8-inch metal gong set out at 40 yards, almost impossible to see from the camera right there, and kind of hard for me to pick up, but it is my goal, me and Beretta. We're going to ring that gong. We're going to bring the alien mothership down. Here we go. The Beretta PX4 Storm 9mm compact. Uh-oh. Hard to double tap when we have a failure to feed. Second shot. Failure to feed. They're laughing at me, these aliens. Ha! Laugh that off. And we're going long. The Beretta, couple failures to feed completely, you notice? But easy enough to fix. Let's see how it works for Allie on her challenge.
Alright everyone, it's my turn to shoot the Beretta PX4. But instead of taking it to the range, we're going to take it to the lanes.
Oh, God. Really? Please be sure and put that in your comments, viewers. This is why Allie doesn't write her own material. That was awful. It cracked her up. You might as well explain the joke though, because that's
true.
For those of you who haven't seen the newest version of Allie's obstacle course.
What we got behind us is bowling pins and shaving cream. We've got 4 bowling pins set up, and hopefully we're going to finish off with the shaving cream.
Because she hasn't made a big enough mess yet. Alright, Allie. The PX4 Storm Beretta 9mm compact. Loaded, chambered, ready to go.
These are off. They're pain and a half, but not bad shooting.
No, locked open now too.
Alright everyone, we are back from the range with our Beretta PX4 9C.
Wish it was our Beretta.
Really?
PX4 Storm 9C. I don't think I've ever met a gun I didn't like. It's people I don't like. I mean, that's... Let's talk about the gun. We were out shooting on the range, and it is time for us to rate the date. Is that bad?
Rate the date?
It's old-fashioned.
I thought we were rating the gun.
It was a date. I had a date with the gun. We have 8 categories. I never rated any of my dates with 8 different categories. Wow. I can see the complaints addressed to Cats in Camo now. What a jerk. I'll rate you. 1s. We have 8 categories, with obviously 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, 3 being industry standard. We're going to start with comfort of grip. I kind of like the grip. It was just a little bit crowded for me. I'm going to give it a solid 3 though.
I always feel scared when my pinky or both my pinkies end up underneath the grip of the gun. I'm always afraid that it's going to recoil in a way that's going to hurt or twist or sprain my fingers, and that could just be a personal fear or an illegitimate fear, you know, that's possible. But whenever that's what happened with this gun. When I tried to hold it, my pinkies were underneath it, and it just did not feel comfortable to hold. One-handed, just kind of looking at it, yeah, it was nice, but two-handed, so I had to give it a 2.
Well, let's talk sights. The Beretta PX4 Storm comes standard with 3-dot white contrast sights. And they do exactly what 3-dot white contrast sights are supposed to do for a compact. They're low profile and they work. You can pick up the target well with them, not especially fast, but they're comfortable and they work fine. So again, I gave it a 3.
I would have to agree. They did seem very industry standard, nothing too spectacular or underwhelming or disappointing. They were just right there, right where they should be at industry standard. So 3 out of 5.
Let's talk about the trigger. This was for a hammer-fired 9mm compact. A standard trigger. I feel like I'm just running this gun through as average, but that's where I found it. It seemed like an average trigger for me, so I'm giving it a 3.
I do not like long pulls on triggers. I'm sure there's a reason for them, and I'm sure people are going to tell me about it in the comments. But I don't like them. They take my comfort level and my confidence level down a notch because I feel like I don't know when the gun's going to fire. The more I have to pull that trigger back, the more I'm scared of when it's actually going to fire. And this one did have a longer pull than I really wanted it to have, so for that reason I did give it a 2.
Alright, let's talk about perceived recoil. The PX4, the barrel doesn't tilt up, it actually rotates to absorb the shot. So it rotates and locks back into place. But for that, it just felt like a normal 9mm of this size. So once again, I'm giving it a 3.
For a compact gun, for a potentially, if you needed to conceal it, it had a nice recoil to it. It wasn't overpowered. It didn't throw me back. It wasn't, I wasn't jerking a lot with it. It was a nice recoil. So I think it would be industry standard, or at least that's where I'm going to put it. That I'm putting it at a 3.
Accuracy. Decent trigger, decent sights, good gun company. It did what I expected it to. I'm giving it a 3.
When I would fire the gun, for the most part, the accuracy was on point. I think I did better on my specialty course than I did on the paper course. But still, this was an accurate gun. I would fire it, I'd put the sights on, I'd fire it, and it would hit my target. And that's what you want in a gun. So, 3.
Now let's talk about ease of reload. My problem is this. When you look, this gun has an external safety, and for some reason Beretta puts it up here. These things are sticking out. These are in the way. So when you go to rack the slide, there's no good grip surface for that, and I have a big problem with that and issues. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 2.
I had to rack the slide multiple times. There was some issues with the gun where I just had to keep, putting it around in the chamber, and I had to constantly be racking the slide back, and it hurt my hands so much. I wouldn't want to have to use this gun frequently, so I did give it a 2 as well.
Let's talk about reliability. We had trouble with this gun cycling. I'm going to give it a 2 because it still works. The problem seems to be worse if your grip is lower, and people who had smaller hands seem to have more issues. But the simple truth is, it did this to me as well, and it did this to the other person who shot it, who also has larger than average hands. So I'm giving it a 2 on reliability.
Almost every single time I fired it, it either failed to eject or failed to feed. Because of that, we had to take time to get the spent cartridge out and then have to rack the slide to get the new one in. It's not reliable at all. I would not trust my life to this gun. It seems to either have just user error, can't fire it, or potentially maybe there's a mechanical error as well, but I had to give it a 1.
Let's talk about ease of maintenance and cleaning. It's an ingenious design for taking it down. You drop the magazine, you lock the slide, you pull down on the little Glock style tabs, you hear them click, and you let go of the slide and it comes off without having to pull the trigger. And so it had good and bad. So overall I'm going to give it a 3.
When it comes to guns for me and learning about them, I tend to lean towards the fewer the pieces, the better it is for ease of maintenance and cleaning. The more pieces I have, the more likely I'm going to lose them, and the less likely it is I'm going to want to clean it, because it's just a hassle. It's going to take more time. There's a chance of losing pieces, not being able to put it back together. There is an extra piece, like he said, and so for that reason I do bump it down to a 2.
Let's add our scores up then. I gave the gun a 22.
My score added up comes out to only 18 points. One of the things that we don't score in the 8-point category is price. So what does a gun like this actually run for?
The Beretta PX4 Storm retails for $650, which puts it kind of in the upper mid-range, and a little bit high for a compact gun.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this video, point those crosshairs at the like button down below, and make sure to stay tuned for more reviews coming soon. See you then.